Jason with Denwerks got a really cool car today here for you. It's a 1960 Ford Thunderbird. I love these cars. They're really, really cool looking, and I just love the body style. Very unique car from back in the day. They made these cars from 1958 to 1960, and this is a 60 model. If you research the cars a little bit between them, you'll see just different little things about them, you know, different chrome and different things, but you know, or just different appointments and stuff. So this is a 1960. We'll walk around here to the front in a second, and had to let that car go by. No one ever yells at me when I'm out here on the road like this. This is one of my favorite things, pavement ends. Everyone always waves because they like classic cars, but it's got a 58 grill in it there. So it's a cool car. I'm selling it for a gentleman. It was his wife's car. They got it back in the early 80s, repainted it, redid the interior, but she absolutely loved this car. They've owned it for over 40 years. But it's time to find it a new home. She passed away a couple years ago, and he's kind of kept hold of it, but it's been kind of bittersweet, but he needs to find it a new home, and so I think we can find that on Bring a Trailer. It is sold on a Washington title. I'm in Oregon. They live in Washington, and it is sold as is, no warranties, express or implied. We're dealers here, so if you need any paperwork in general or anything, we'd be glad to help. But obviously it has a title, it's all signed off and all that. So we've sold, I don't know, over 350 something on Bring a Trailer, and it's been a great experience, and we met a lot of nice folks on the site. It's funny, the reason I like these cars so much is my grandpa took me to the junkyard, and you know, I was, I don't know, like 6 or 7, and he would take me there sometimes. Well, there was one of these there, and I hopped in it, and me being, you know, kind of curious about things, I started it up right in the junkyard. It was running, and my grandpa's like, "Don't you touch anything," and it was funny. And then also, that's where my collecting started. I was there, and I came to my grandpa, and I'm like, "Hey, Grandpa, I have got a bunch of keys that I collected here." And my grandpa's like, "Where did you get all those keys?" I had like 40 of them. And that was back in the day when the keys were cool, because, you know, like Mercury keys are really cool. They had the Mercury Man on them and stuff. So I had these collector things, and I go, "Well, I got them all in those trunks." And he looked at me like, "You know why they put them in the trunks there, don't you?" And I said, "No, I guess for me to get." And he said, "No, when someone wants to buy a trunk, they kind of want a key with it." So they called me Little Man, and I spent the next couple hours putting keys away, trying to find the cars. So I learned a lot about cars that day and keys. So anyways, enough of my chit-chatting. We're gonna walk around it and look at it. It's not perfect. A few things about it. It does have a transmission leak in a couple different spots. We changed the oil pan gasket, or the transpans gasket, and seemed to help a little bit, but it's definitely leaking in a couple other spots. Shift shaft seal, and we don't know a lot about automatic transmission, so that needs to be replaced. And I think the torque converter seal might be leaking a little bit. So if you keep transmission fluid in, and it's cool, it's fine, but it's going to put, you know, after you drive it, might want to put a pan underneath of it. It might get a 3-inch or 4-inch puddle, 5-inch puddle. If it just sits there, eventually it'll stop. But it does have a leak there. It does have an exhaust leak. The windows work. The driver's and the passenger's window, they do go up and down, but sometimes they can get slow. This window here, I won't demonstrate it while I'm out here. This one will go off track here, and the other one over on the other side, it will go down, but then it goes up about halfway, and and then it needs help getting up. And this one here, when it went off track, it actually will come over, and this happened to him, and it cracked the window right here. You can see a crack. So so that's, just don't touch that one, because it will go off track. Other things, I was doing a driving video. The wipers are vacuum, and they kind of come up halfway. It might be different if it's raining out. I don't know, just from lubrication on the window, but they kind of stop there. Couple other little things, radio works, heater works. It does have inside an odor of rodents. There was a mouse that got in the back of the trunk, maybe a couple, and he had cleaned it all out because the car had been parked after she passed, and they got in there. So those are things, there's a little bit of odor in the car. Probably airing it out a lot would be good, and probably taking out, just spend time on the weekend cleaning and different things. He tried his best so helped it, but it still needs some help there. So all the exterior lights are working, and this is the only year I think that you could get backup lights with the 3 lights in the back. So I'll just walk from the front to the back. Paint is actually pretty nice. Monte Carlo red, it's factory Monte Carlo red with a black and white interior, so it has got a really good look to it. And this is my favorite hood scoop that Ford made, and the 72 Torino hood scoop. I think it just looks really cool and good looking. The chrome on it is obviously older. It does have some scratches and chips and different stuff on it, and some pitting and age. 60 grill or 58 grill in there, but everything's fairly complete. You'll see some minor chipping and stuff. You can see right around the headlight there. The car's just, a nice driver, but you would take it to a car show and enjoy it and have a great time. Straight down the side. The nice thing about it being paint that's from the mid-80s, what you see is what you get. It's not a fresh paint job that people covered up a bunch of stuff. It's actually a solid paint job on it. And like I said, it does have little chips and scratches, but it's a solid car. The tires are from the 80s, big wide whites, and they're not cracked or anything majorly, but they wander a little bit, obviously. And there's small crackage I can see, but you're definitely gonna probably want to replace those, but nothing major. A lot of weather checking type thing. They're G7814. You can actually see some of this cracking here. Nice set of radial wide whites would be nice. You look down here, very nice rockers and stuff. You can see the T is broken off there. The windshield's in good shape. Roof gutter and everything looks good. And I'm just trying to give you a real honest opinion of the car. I love it, but it just has a couple little things like I'm talking about. Thunderbird, nice wings on it and stuff. I'm gonna take a look inside. Actually, we'll start it up here for you real fast. Actually, I'll pop the hood. You can, right there, there's the lever. Take a look underneath the hood real fast. Under the hood is a 352. It was rebuilt in the 80s, so was the transmission back then, but we had put new valve cover gaskets on it. The engine was already painted blue. We just touched up some stuff, but technically I think it's supposed to have a white air cleaner and blue yellow valve covers, but we went ahead and just painted them blue just because that's what they were before. But you can see in here, structurally really good. If you look at the pictures underneath, it is very clean underneath the car. There is a spot underneath the spare tire area in the trunk that it was hit. They probably hit something with it or a long time ago someone backed up on something, but not a big deal. Windshield wiper, the bag should go here. You know, we haven't went through the brakes or anything like that, but it seems to be doing pretty good. It's got power brakes, power brake option, and power window option. We take it for granted today, but not all cars had it back then. But the engine runs good. We'll start it up here for you in a second. VIN number right there. That's important, and it does match the tag. You know, engine underneath too has, just from sitting, you know, the car sat, and it has some seepage and stuff underneath, and residue and stuff. You can see underneath the hood. Looks good. We'll go ahead and reach in there. Start it up. Oh, I might have to hit the gas once. You can hear the fan. Here you can hear it running. A little bit of an exhaust leak. But actually you hear it more when it's cold, and after it warms up you don't hear it as much, so you can't really hear it that much now. But even when it's cold, it's not that loud. But just when everything expands and heats up, it kind of goes away. So engine runs really good. I'll show you the interior real fast here. Again, he did the interior in the 80s. The dash pad he replaced, and he was able to get that from Ford NOS, which is pretty cool. So it's not a reproduction dash pad. Back seat looks nice. The white looks good, but you'll see little, it's not dirty, but you'll see just a little discoloration on the white from all those years, but nothing major. Center console, there's the switches for those windows, radio. You can see the steering wheel could be restored. It's supposed to be white. Some of the black, some of the whites flaked off and stuff. And door panel looks good. Inside the door jamb looks in good shape. I mean, they got fancy back in the day. Look at these scuff plates. See up here. Headliner looks good. There's a little hole over there. You see the dome light works. We'll do this front window. See, it goes down and up. Sometimes it's slow. I'm not going to do that one back there, and because sometimes it'll go halfway and then it will stop as it goes up, and I won't be able to get it all the way up because I'm here, but it does go down and we'll go up about halfway. And then this one here, oh, why not? I'll show you what it does. See, it goes down, but it is, if you hit this button a whole bunch of times, now it stops. So I'll have to have someone help me at the shop get it back up. And this one here, remember, we're not touching that one. The carpet actually looks pretty good in the car, and it's got some cool Thunderbird floor mats. This doesn't go in here, but floor mats, they're pretty cool. You can see underneath the carpet, it's nice and clean. I'll go ahead and shut it off, and we'll take a look in the trunk. I'm on camera. Making me nervous with the key. Wait. Maybe it's this one. There we go. Here's inside the trunk. All these panels look good, and I haven't taken them all out or anything like that. One thing, the spare tire does have a white wall back here, but there's not a couple free cans of cleaner, but it doesn't have a rim on it. And you can look at the pictures underneath, you can see the bottom of it, but if you look inside the jams, they look pretty good. No accidents or anything back here. Up underneath here is nice. No rust. I don't know what was right here. I don't know if they had an antenna or something, maybe on the top back in the day. I don't see any sign that there was one there, but that's just, I don't know exactly what happened there. So let's go back and we're gonna look down the side of the car. I'll point out little chips and different things. I think there was a chip right there. There's various little ones. I won't point all of them out, but just pointing out kind of major. Around this wheel lip looks good. It originally had skirts, so we don't have the skirts for it. Back behind the wheel looks good. A couple little, tiny little bubbles, nothing big. Some little scrapes right there. It's a pretty honest car, really. From car cover going over top, little chips that have been touched up. Bumper again, the chrome is aged. Taillights. I like taillights in this. Gas. Dual exhaust on it. You look down this side, getting very straight. Little bubble right there. The rest looks in good shape overall. Look at the body here. Roof gutter looks good, it's not rusty. Take a look at this side. Door panel looks excellent. I did mention too, I showed on the door jamb on the other side right there, there was the VIN tag, and it does match the one underneath the hood. So hopefully that gives you a general good look at it overall. It is a nice car, and I think someone will enjoy it and have a good time. There's a little chip there. The T-Birds, I like how the hood opens up this way, but they have a latch on both sides where they connect, and I should have shoved it from this side, but I have one hand and stuff trying to do this. So hopefully that gives you a good look of it in general. Give us a call if you got a question. My name's Jason, would love to help you. And again, check out the photos, make a comment. If you're watching this too, you might see this on YouTube. Go to the link down there in description, and you can go to the auction at bringatrailer.com. Thanks for taking a peek.
Le dijeron ven, y ella gritó.
for riding around with me in the little T-Bird. Actually, the big Squarebird. Actually, this is one of my favorite hood scoops of all times on these cars, and I just love looking out the windscreen on these. Kind of a bubble fender hood scoop, and I like the little emblems on top of the fenders. Very, very cool. You can hear a little bit of air, little wind leakage coming in here through the window gaskets. Again, this thing was restored in the 80s, and overall a pretty good car. It wanders a little bit. It's got nylon tires on it that are from the 80s as well. They look good, big wide whites, but they are nylon polyester tires, so it wanders a little bit, and probably be nice to put some radials on it at some point. You can see the odometer works there. You can see the speedometer works as well. Fuel gauge. Temp gauge is kind of bizarre. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It looks like it's reading about right, but sometimes it just gets stuck there. Clock doesn't work in it. You can see the blinker. You can see them lighting up there. Radio obviously works. The heater, it does work as well. And I was looking for the fan. Oh, you can hear it blowing right now. That's high and low. Cigarette lighter doesn't work. The wipers, you can see they work, but they kind of stopped. And hey, look at that. There's Mrs. D. She's out here in her truck. She's just kind of cruising around in that. That truck is called Papa Smurf. It is so cool, and it's coming to bring a trailer. But again, with this car here, the horn doesn't work. I'll show you the windows here in a little bit, and when I pull over. But overall, it does drive nice. I mean, the car's a good driving car overall. But there's just a few things that need a little bit of attention. But overall, everything seems to be, what's working is working, what's not is not. So it is cool that, oh, I can see my hood is up a little bit there. I didn't get it latched, but what you can see on it in general, it's a really good car overall, but it just needs a little bit of tinkering, stuff you can do on the weekends and stuff. So we'll drive it around here and I'll show you some more stuff.